All right, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? Dre the Bread talking here. Listen, we're going to have an incredible night. I got my brothers here with me tonight, and I just really can't wait to have this discussion with my guys. And we're going to be talking about lessons that we wish we learned earlier. Before we do get going, be sure to select a like, share, comment down below. We love to hear your feedback. Definitely smash that subscribe button and make sure your notifications are turned on so that you can stay up to date with all the latest and greatest episodes that will be coming down the pipeline on my channel, gentlemen. Again, just excited. Got my brothers here with me today, man, on this episode to talk to me. So before I do begin, man, I just want to bring everybody in. Pretty much they're going to tell you who they are and, you know, they're going to tell you a little bit about themselves. But first up the bat, man, I want to welcome my brother Forth the Great. This brother has been with me on this journey of entrepreneurship for quite a few years now. And having me here today in this setting, in this background, we actually did something like this in the past, but now, we're a little bit more refined. We really know what we're doing now. So I'm excited to bring my brother Forth the Great up. So, Forth the Great, man, tell us, what's going on, brother. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
What's going on? It's your boy Fourth the Great. Yeah, I've been in this space for a couple years now. Chef, entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
What more can I say?
Man,
we we working on clipping those 9 to 5s and fully investing in building something real for our families. I put a lot of hours in for that side, and now it's just time to put the hours in for this side so that I can actually enjoy the spoils that I work for. So it's Fourth the Great here.
Talk to me. I love it. I love it. Glad to have you on board, my brother. Glad to have you on board, man. Next up, man, I want to say what's up to my brother here, man. I've actually known him for a very long time, and we got reacquainted, over the years and through time, man. Thank God for social media, man. Big up, big up. If anybody here watching this today and say, hey, look, man, I've been in contact with my people that I've known over the years through social media, man, smash that subscribe button on that one, man. I want to bring my brother up, Mr. Nolan's up, man, and we all actually served together in the military many, many years ago. And we've been on a journey in entrepreneurship over the last few years too as well. So, man, I want to welcome up my brother, my guy, Mr. Nolans. Welcome to the forum.
Hey, how everybody doing? Mr. Nolan LZ. Man, I've been knowing Dre for a long time, and it's funny how this story actually started. I knew Dre. I actually didn't even know Dre.
Mm-hmm.
I was going out, he was coming in. And so he was really good acquaintance with my best friend, one of my best friends, and I was talking to one of my friends, and he was like, yeah, I know somebody that, he's into the investments, la 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 la.
Mm-hmm.
Hooked up with Dre, like we've been rocking ever since. And this has been about 3 or 4 years. Pre-COVID. Like maybe was it pre-COVID?
Pre-COVID?
Post-COVID.
No, post-COVID. It's after COVID.
It was post-COVID. I was doing some investment things like pre-COVID, but when I started talking to Dre, things started evolving, and he put me into a community that, to where I could start learning some things and start getting different connections. I had an opportunity to have some dealing with Fourth the Great. We've been in different companies together. So yeah, man, like been around for a while. I mean, like my partner, Ford say, we taking this thing to a whole different level and making some things happen.
I like it. Maximizing your opportunities, man. It's important to make sure you stay in communication with people. That's been one of the things for me. My brother, I done had my phone number the same for the last 20 plus years now. So I'm one of the few that I know. I'm a firm believer that don't change your phone number, man. I'd rather block you before I get rid of my phone number. I work too hard for it. So just staying in communication with you over the years. I'm glad to have you on board this journey. We'll talk a little bit more about that through
Yeah,
this
yeah.
conversation, everybody. So definitely make sure y'all guys take notes, man. Next up the bat, man, I got my brother over here, Mr. Campbell, man. My brother Estee, man. I've known him for since about 2019. We actually came in the same environment, pretty much about the same time. Um, Same guy who introduced us to the space. He introduced him, he introduced me, and now we join forces, and then we're here together now, and just building, bridging, empowering, and helping a lot of people along the way, man. So I want to bring my guy up, man. I really have a lot of respect for my brother Estee, man. Just his knowledge and wisdom and understanding of markets, and we'll talk a little bit more into that too as well. But his knowledge and wisdom is very impactful. So you guys are going to be really in for a treat. Don't be fooled, ladies and gentlemen. He's about his business for sure. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Estee.
What's going on, family and friends? Again, this is Estate Campbell, and man, it's been an awesome journey. Brad Talker, I have known this man, like he said, it was 2019. I was acquainted with him from another individual called Wilkins,
Talk to me.
and man, and since we connected, man, it been bread and butter. We have definitely connected. We have been involved, in the market, in the space since, and our relationship definitely got stronger and stronger. And and God definitely allowed me and him to bond well together, to go through many experiences, to help, you know, be an influence to many people, in the entrepreneur space, things of that nature. And
Mhm.
took a break, for a year and a half, going on my adventures. And before you know it, God brought me back to the bread talker. And then, it's up to the skies from there. So
All right. Man, again, pleasure to have you back on board, man. And then we're smashing it even better now because absolutely we're moving with a higher frequency and moving with more intention, and we're just more knowledgeable. We know what we know now, what we didn't know back in 2019, and so forth and so on. So, victory to those who continue to push through those barriers. And last but not least, I want to bring up the man, the myth, the legend, man, Dr. Reverend LD, father of my brother Nolan's. And I'm saying Nolan's, man, because I see the Z at the end. Nolan, right? But I'm incredibly excited because this brother here, he's a man of faith, man of. He's about his business, and he has great wisdom, as you can see. He's more seasoned than the most of us on here. So I rely upon a lot, in knowing him over the last few months or so, or getting to know him over the last few months. Just relying upon his wisdom has been incredibly impactful for me. He's really an inspiration, right? To see the man in his demeanor and his season, and he's a man of so many hats. Like, even for him to be here right now is an honor and privilege because he's ahead of an incredibly large flock, and he's just incredibly busy. But to find time to take on this skill set and to be here with us tonight, right now, listen, I'm incredibly excited. My brother, that is his father, so I know it's even more of a bigger impact for Nolan as well. I keep looking at the Z, man, on the screen, but I know it's a big impact for him too as well because to have his father here, and I'm looking forward to have my pops here on this platform. I'm gonna tell him, like, Dad, we got somebody here running circles around you. So it's just inspiring. So real quick, Dr. Reverend LD, I'm gonna bring you to the forum, brother. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? I know I said a little bit, but you have more seasoning to put on this.
Uh,
Talk
we,
to me.
we appreciate that. Appreciate that, Dre. It's a blessing to be on as Dre said, I'm in a brand new space, and I'm very thankful to be in this space. My son, Nolan, he introduced me to this program of better myself in journey. I've learned a lot. And I appreciate all the guys that I don't know have accepted me. Yeah, I guess it's dead. I guess I don't know. I feel that way. I try to listen to them, and I'm learning a lot just by being around them and conversating with them. They're very intelligent guys, and they're about their business. And so I said to myself, Nolan, this is my son, Nolan, whatever they're doing, I want to be on the journey with them. I know if they can make it, I can make it too. And so I'm just enjoying this space. I've only been a part of it about 3 months ago, and I'm very thankful that so many new people, and there's some interesting people, some real people I didn't even imagine that, that was even in my could be in my word. And so they're down to earth. And I like about it, being in this space, with the bread talker, they're about being men, for men and men for boys, men for their families. And I really enjoy that. And so saying that, wherever they go, if they go to the top, I want to go to the top with them. So, but Dre, I'm gonna give it back to you because I'm just overjoyed. I'm learning so much as the days go by.
Man, I appreciate that. I really do appreciate. Thank you for the accolades, edification. Uh, I just, having you here is a true honor. And I look forward to learning so much more from you, with you, and being able to share that with other people. So listen, everybody. I know what you came here for. You want to know what we're talking about here. But I want you to guys to just recognize you have 5 men of courage, of honor. You got 5 men of valor, 5 men who are highly intelligent that are just looking forward to just moving the needle. So I'm glad to bring everybody here in the space right here together. But tonight, let's talk a little bit about the lessons that we wish we learned earlier. I know our audience, there's lessons that I know that you wish you've learned, right? Everybody wish there was a lesson that I learned. So we just want to share a few things that we wish we learned as businessmen, as entrepreneurs, as men of faith. What were some of the relationships, whether it's a relationship or relationships, or even some success, right? And even failures too, because I believe success and failure, they both go hand in hand. You can't have one without the experience in the other. But I believe that it's only a true failure when you quit, right? If you don't continue to learn anymore, like you stop, right? That's the biggest failure, I believe. Now, some things, you might have to quit, but more things, if it's for a goal such as the one that we've been pursuing, I think our strength has been in the pushing forward. So, anybody, whoever want to go first, it doesn't matter. I don't call anybody right now, but what is one of the lessons that you wish you've learned earlier on your journey? Anybody?
Well, I can get started here. Man, one of the lessons, that I learned is, especially, when especially like in the entrepreneur space, is, it's not trying to master the art of many spaces. Like, as I was getting to the entrepreneur, I can get the word out. Entrepreneurship, and a lot of things that I really wanted to do. Like I wanted to do 5, 6 different things. And then trying to juggle 6 different things and thinking that I can conquer 5 or 6 different things. And then once you realize, you're like, oh man, I'm stretched thin. And then before you know it, once you get stretched thin, then neither one of those you're not gonna be able to conquer.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just say is, if I could do it over, at least according to my lessons, pick a one or maybe two, and focus on that and, work on the craft and master the one or two. And once you get to, I could just say the level of equilibrium, then you can build and add on from there. So that's one that I could definitely say some of the lessons, that I experienced that, I can definitely do better.
All right, I like that. I like that. I like that. It's been a journey. It's been
Absolutely.
a journey in that area, right?
Oh,
Bad.
yeah.
Anybody else? That's a good one, Esther.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm gonna take it back a little bit. It's just having gratitude and a little bit of fear, because I'm gonna take it back when I was actually in the kitchen. I was great in the kitchen, but my attitude held me back because I didn't have gratitude. And I used fear to pretty much get my way in certain instances. So as great as a chef that I was, I had people that didn't want to approach me because my attitude was terrible. And that's being cocky because I knew I was good at what I did and I didn't have gratitude. But soon as I started being grateful for what I had at the current time, then things started to change. Like soon as my attitude changed, then I start moving up in the world of in the kitchen or whatnot. And the same thing with entrepreneurship. You got to have gratitude because it's difficult to get up and be self-motivated to get things done.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fear that you may not get the things done, but you have to continue to push and have that gratitude because you are here and you get to have the opportunity to do better than you did before. So that's one of the lessons that I have, and not being afraid to start over. Because a lot of times people think starting over is bad. And
Mm-hmm.
Dre, I had to start completely over. So yes, it's scary, but I'm here to tell my story, and the story is not done yet. I mean, Dre, you know some details about the story,
Right.
but I'm still pushing because I'm grateful that I'm here to have the opportunity to move forward with my life and being in the entrepreneurial world and what I have now. You know,
Fourth, you said something that was key in the beginning, right? You said, well, all of it was, really, really stood out. But I like this part where you said gratitude and fear, the lessons that you've learned. And I like the two examples you used. One, you said, or the example that you used, you said you was great in the kitchen, but you had lack of gratitude. So you saw how people moved away from you. And what that kind of reminds me of is I'm imagining myself getting to know people, getting familiar, right? Imagine myself on the basketball court, right? And I'm so good at what I do, right? I'm nice. And I have this gratitude that, yeah, my skill set is what it is. However, I what I don't do with people is I don't befriend them, right? Or it reminds me of people that, they're so good on the basketball court. Let me go there. It reminds me of some people that were so good on the court that they really did not know how to interact with people outside of that, right? They had a nasty demeanor about themselves. They were so cocky, but that cockiness was rooted in fear because if they allowed them to get to know the real them, the really
right?
insecure person, that bravado that person displayed, it would go away. It reminds me of the bully. It also reminds me of the bully and the high school bully. And you're familiar with the bully. Probably
Exactly.
was strong physically, right?
But
He probably had pretty good features about himself. And I'm only talking about males in this particular instance, right? Because I know there's some women that could definitely relate. But the bully was, he was a guy. He pick on people, but his insecurities was he might have lacked intelligence, and emotional intelligence for that matter. All right, so he deflected off into his brute force until somebody who's smart came along and probably changed all that, or they had a lack of love. So that reminded me of a little bit of that we was talking about. But I like the part that you ended with, not being afraid to start over, to wherever you're at in your life. You just start all over. Don't quit. Just start all over. So that stood out for me. Yeah, man. Nolan, talk to me.
Man, actually, I wrote down a few things. For me, it's listening and disciplining. Only if I would have listened.
Woo.
That goes from mama now, grandmama now.
Oh man,
Dad, he can't get on right now, but he's on now. I've been in some situations to where I be like, man, if I would have listened to Dad and them, if I would have listened to Mom.
Yes.
Even in these situations, and the what is that? The quote they say, "When you know better, you do better." A lot of times, you know better, and you still continue to do the same thing, continue to create those same cycles.
Mm-hmm.
But then that's when the discipline comes into play. You have to learn how to start disciplining yourself to where, okay, I have to create a system. I got to create a system to keep me from doing the things of the past.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Dre, you and I, we talk a lot. You and I, we talk a lot. And in the past couple of weeks, we talk about these trading accounts, these funding accounts.
Whew. Yeah.
Man, if I would have listened, if I would have, we just came back from this great mansion event. We got all of this knowledge, all of this knowledge, and I'm not taking it. Not to say I'm not taking it serious, but once I get to a certain point, I'm listening, but the discipline, it starts to fade out the window.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started doubting myself. Then, like my partner, the fourth says, fear comes into place. Fear comes into place. Like, okay, now what do I do?
Mm-hmm.
Now you want to revert. Now you want to quit. Now you can't quit. You're too far ahead to quit. So what's next? So yeah, that's those two things kind of popped up. They popped up in my head when we start discussing the topics that we was going to discuss tonight.
I like that.
Hopefully that can kind of stem off of some other conversation as well, because we talk about discipline all the time. Like we discipline our children, and when you're what's the word, disobedient, even as God's children, when they're disobedient, He gonna whoop us in some state, form, or fashion. Even in the trade markets, what's gonna happen to you, Estee? When you're supposed to be going to 0.02, you're going to go a 0.07, 0.08, and that sucker knock you out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you know it look good. And it looks good for a minute too.
Absolutely.
Let me get a little bit more. Let me get a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to thread the needle?
Yep.
Mm-mm.
You could have stayed. Look, if you would have just listened and been disciplined and did something different,
man,
you could have stayed in it for a minute. But
the discipline is the key.
Yes,
100%.
Listen, that one right there is a big one for me right there. Being greedy in the markets has definitely cost me a good bankroll. Not like talking about stuff like that, right? Because a lot of times when we talk about, when we're talking about trading and stuff like that, man, that's one of the things people tell you about the highs, but they don't really want to talk about the lows enough, right? They'll kind of explain it and glaze over it, but they don't really dive into it, man. We're gonna talk about that. We're definitely gonna get into that. I think as we waiting for your father to get back in, I think he's having some technical difficulties.
It's an internet problem.
It might be interference, that internet stuff, right? I think for me, lessons I've learned, I would say, man, it's There's been so many. There's been so many lessons learned. And one thing I would say is one of the biggest lessons I've learned is just live a little bit longer. Live a little bit longer, and allow yourself the space to grow. Right. I think a lot of times we pigeonhole ourselves. Or maybe we gotten used to the communities or the environments that we've come from. And so now we find ourselves in these new spaces and places, and we automatically shut the door and say, no, well, what I had to learn and overcome was understanding that I qualify. I qualify. All I have to do is say yes. All I have to do is say yes. It's like when I first got baptized 10 years ago, right? Got baptized 10 years ago. I may have not known all the ins and outs, and I may not even been fully prepared, to do so. But I knew it was something that I needed to do, right? That was right there. That just because I got started, just because I said yes, like the journey doesn't stop there. I had to keep on going and keep on learning and just because I thought I was covered, just because I thought I was protected, right? Just because I can change it. Just because I went to college doesn't mean I know all the answers for the assignment that lays ahead of me. I had to go through and roll up the sleeves, put my hands on the thing. I don't know what that is. Hold on. Your dad is setting up. I don't know what it is. I just had to go through the process of learning that skill set, which is one of the reasons that led us here, right? Learn how to trade in the markets, overcoming those fears. Just because I knew a thing, just because I got some book education, just because I had a feeling that wasn't enough. So for me, the lesson I learned earlier is just live a little bit longer and keep at it, keep pushing through. And you'll, if you can do that, keep making more of the right decisions as opposed to the wrong ones, but be all right. I'm gonna be all right. And another one, man. Another one is make sure that you're on your journey. Make sure you're surrounding yourself with the right people, because I believe earlier on in life, sometimes we find ourselves around what it can be what is called our comfort zone, familiarity. Our people are doing, our friends are doing it, so we're doing it, and that may not be the real you. But in the process of being around those people, you're developing to be like those people. Your mentality is changing from the purpose I believe that God has for you, whatever that purpose may be. Hopefully, you live a little bit longer. You put yourself in a position where God can repurpose you. Right. So whatever your purpose may have been, yeah, because of your hard-headed and stubbornness and unwillingness to learn, I believe He can repurpose you if you dial back a little bit and stop taking over the wheel. So I think that's one of the biggest lessons I definitely learned. Dr. Elsie, how you coming along over there? I think that computer's giving you some troubles over there. Can you hear us? Oh, he's still setting up. All right.
You know what? I could also, part of the lessons, I could add something to that. And the saying is, don't throw a punch if you can't take a punch. Basically, to put it in a different language, just say like for trading, right? Mm-hmm. It's like you mentioned about the highs, but don't even not think about the lows. Mm-hmm. So as like if you're gonna get aggressive, and hey, you might win big, but don't go big if you can't accept the opposition of it.
Yeah.
You can't take a lick, don't throw a lick, man.
Exactly.
It's like working out though. Like
you're gonna get hit a couple times.
We train in these demo accounts, right? The gym training to build muscle, right?
Yep.
But if
Right.
your form is off, it's going to take longer to build that muscle. So when we divert from our plan, it takes longer to build that wealth. So we end up blowing accounts or
Mm,
losing positions or, not even reacting. Because, you can lift the weight all you want and build a chest up. But if you're not if you don't have that form correctly, you're going to end up tearing a rotator. You're going to end up ripping something. And that chest muscle is going to take way longer to build because now you got to start repairing what you already broke.
mhm.
Absolutely.
How about you, Dr. Elsie? I think we got you all. I think you're good now.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back.
What is?
Technology. It will. I won't allow it to outdo me. I'm old school, but I'm learning to be in school with you guys. Don't get upset because you run into a little fear. All you do is just challenge your fear, then settle your fear. I got more faith in fear. I just kept punching buttons. I said, one of these got to be the right one. And so I hit the right one. I'm back. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, guys. I missed out on a few minutes of the pod, but I'm glad to be back on with you all.
Nah, but you're still here now. Actually, what you just finished stating kind of goes hand in hand with some a lesson that lesson learned. It goes back to pushing through.
Yeah, and
Not
that's what
not
and
allowing yourself to be defeated by that technology. The question I had to ask you: what is a lesson that you wish you had learned earlier? On your come up.
well, the lessons I learned earlier. I don't know. Really, just being in this space now. I wish that I had known then what I know now, because our counterpart. The reason why they are so far ahead of us as far as economics. Well, let me put it this way: as far as being entrepreneurs and knowing how to make money and knowing how to talk to your money rather than your money talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just getting into this space, and because of my son and you, Dre, I'm taking that. I'm taking that fear of trying to, grasp all of the opportunities that are out there now. Just being a part of, the Bridge Talker. I'm trying to keep this short. You know, you have to overcome the fear. And one of my things was, and I'm gonna let somebody else have it. Nolan, when he invited me into this space and this journey of crafting, my journey ahead. Well, man, I don't know if I can do this or not.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all a matter of saying to yourself, that my faith, and that's the big thing. You have faith in God, but do you have faith in what you do and what you have inside of you. If your heart says, "Hey, I got enough faith that I can learn this skill just as well as anybody else. I may be, a day or two older than you all, but I have this mindset that if you can do it, I can do it too." That's all I want to say. That, and that's what I had wished
Like
I had
that.
learned earlier, that I can do all things through the
Mm,
Lord strengthened me.
that's right.
And Dre, let me tell you something. Don't let him fool you now. Don't let him fool you now. Oh, growing up, I learned a lot of entrepreneurship from him. Like he
Mm-hmm.
had his own business when I was 15, 16. Like I used to work for the summer. Like I had a summer job. Like he taught me how to put money in the bank. I didn't do a good job of saving, but like he said, during those particular times, we weren't taught how to do certain things as our counterparts. And I'm pretty sure it was in the same communities that you were from, even though we were from different parts of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm pretty sure in our communities, we wasn't taught. We were taught to go to work, save a little money, pay your bills. But I'm like, my dad, he pastored churches and he got his own business and he worked a 9 to 5 as well. I'm like, man like money. I didn't start to realize that until I got older.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so
I think
now I'm coming back to him like, Dad, you taught me how to do this. You taught me how to do that. I'm going to teach you an easier way that we should have known way back then. If we would have known back then what we know now, oh, man, all five of us on here would be billionaires, bro. Like billionaires. But here we are.
yeah, yeah,
Here
we're
we
here
are.
learning now.
Right, here we
We're here
are.
learning now. That's key right there, right? Just because you didn't know a thing before, well, when the opportunity comes, you grab it. And I love that that you said it twice. Earlier on, and then again, Dr. Knows, you said, if they can do it, so can I. I use that one all the time. That's the one that always got me. So when people, um, whether people came, didn't come, whether people were going or staying, whether people said, I give up, I always said, well, I see that things are changing no matter what. If they can, I said, I got to lock in on this skill set. That's something that I know that no one can take from me. And I know I'm smart enough. I know I have enough intellect for it. What's keeping me from being better as a trader? You know, I've been doing it for almost 7 years now, right? And I don't think I'm as effective and efficient as I could have been if I started sooner. But when I really locked in, the part that really stood out for me is if they can get it, then why can't I? That's another reason why I never quit. And I'm glad I didn't, because if I quit, we wouldn't be having this right now, this moment that we're having right now. If you quit, then that's it. It's over. You don't know what doors you're blocking and stop it. When God gives us the opportunity to say, here, these are the finances that you're going to need. I don't need, he said, I don't need more people that can just till land. I need people that can do more abundantly and exceedingly. I need people that know how to handle the finances. I need the people that can just that can orchestrate things. And I don't need just laborers. I need planners and builders. Right? God said, I remember TD Jake saying this, and I used to always use it. I didn't know listening to him, he made it sound better and cooler. So I just used it. He said, God didn't give you a chair. He didn't give you a table. He didn't give you a bed. He didn't give you a desk. He didn't even give you the house. What he did give you, though, he gave you the trees. And what he said was, with that tree, now you can go and be creative. Use your mind to build from there. So he gives us the essentials. From there, he allows us to be as creative as possible here in this space. He said, look, I'm gonna put opportunity in front of you. I got a community. We got some people over here that teaching people how to trade in the financial markets. Well, don't you have to go to school and be educated in the area? I said, I'm gonna put you in a community of people that are showing people how to trade and become retail traders. I said, well, let me find that out, man, because I know that's a way to wealth. That's the way to greater opportunities. You know, that's the way to, real estate. All right. And I think the key was just being around the people. So, for me, um, that journey alone, it definitely affected my life in a positive way more than anything. For me, I don't know how long it's been for y'all, man. I'm gonna ask y'all, man, how long has this journey been for y'all? For me, I want to say it's been about a 10 to 12-year journey for me. Transformation, right? For years, up until like the age of 40, all I wanted to do was rap. All I wanted to do was get into the music industry. But I found myself in the military. I found myself in areas that were pulling me more and more away from it, from that opportunity. But I would still push more towards it because I'm defiant. That's my goals. That's my dream, and I believe I was good at it. So for me to change that passion, Lord, can you? I want to be placed in areas where I can grow outside of what I know already. I need to change the environment. For me, it wasn't healthy or conducive for my family. It wasn't healthy or conducive for me, for my future at a certain point. So I really wanted to look at other areas and things And lo and behold, man, I prayed on the thing and this door opened for me. You know, I was quite honestly, I was looking to get into real estate, right? I wanted to be a real estate investor. And so I found myself studying for a real estate exam because, you know, I wanted to, I said, in order for me to do it, I guess I need to be around people that do real estate. And I was working my regular job at the time. I was long going out of the military. Um, but I wanted to I wanted to pursue entrepreneurship, right? I wanted to, what's the quickest way for me to get there? And as I was studying for my exam, I ran into what would become one of my closest and best friends and mentors. And he showed me how to get into trading and got me into an environment. And I got to be around people that looked, talked like me. They came from different backgrounds, but they were all about improving themselves. So, for you guys, how long has it been for you to be on this journey of where you're at right now? Has it been a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? I don't know. Anybody?
Man, I would say I've been the Boys and Girls Club movement for 20, a little over 20, almost 25 years. And you know, we've always instilled knowledge and same things that we talk about. And it's like, you know, Dre, we had a conversation the other day. Uh, you know, sometimes I feel like I hit a glass ceiling. Like I love children, I love the youth. But with learning what I have now, how can I expand that to the next generation? You know, we have our own children now. I mean, it starts with them. You know, so it's been it's been 20, so it's been 22, 23 years, but in the past, I can honestly say in the past 2 years.
Wow.
Maybe a year and a half, it really just kind of stuck still with me. Like, yo, it's more than just me now. It's more than just, oh, okay, I want to buy a Benz. Oh, I want to buy another house. I want to get acres of land. Like, I'm not gonna be able to hear soon. I'm not even gonna be able to enjoy this stuff, man. What about what can I leave my legacy?
Yes.
Like, what type of legacy? What type of name can I leave behind? That's one of the things, you know, that we don't think about. I had a conversation with one of my friends. I want to say the day before yesterday. Straight from, I mean, he's a hood guy, really good guy. Not to let me rephrase that. He's a really good guy, but his mindset is a little bit different because he's a product of his community. You know, he's always on survival mode. So now he's at an age to where he has grandchildren. Things are starting to sit in. Things he could have done. Now it's starting to make sense. So I just think, you know, we can continue to spread our message and make it more relevant and be more transparent in our actual lives, man. Cause we brothers. You know, well, I see 2 or 3 generations here coming from my dad to me, Dre, Full, Estee. We all have children. So dad has grandchildren. like he probably tells them things that he don't tell me. He probably never ever told them. And it's up to us, man. Like it's really up to us.
I agree.
Make this thing happen. And not just black men.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, you know, it is what it is, but me working with kids, I see all different levels. Like we all dealing with the same issues, man. Kids are dealing with the same things, no matter what creed, race, or colors. They're dealing with the same society, man. And if they don't have anything to go for, they only just do what they know how to do.
Yeah, and that could be scary.
Yep.
Because if it's nothing, they're going to create something. It might not be might not be beneficial. Yeah. What about you, Fourth?
And matter of fact, you got grandchildren. My fault,
I do,
Mr.
man.
Dr. Dre. You got grandchildren. So it's like a different feeling now.
It is.
No,
It really is.
it's feeling.
It really is. It really seems unbelievable.
Yeah, it's definitely a different feeling. So I got one too. Story time. So I always knew entrepreneurship was possible because I worked for Big Daddies in Norfolk at the Longshoreman Yard.
Legendary Big Daddy.
So
Legendary.
I saw successful brothers in and out of there because they worked for the government. But I also saw Big Daddy. I worked for him, and he had his own spot. So a lot of things that I brought from what I knew from working in conventional restaurants, I helped him with. So he also helped me with, you know, the catering side because I ended up being his main caterer and taking on a lot of jobs with celebrities and, you know, comedians and whatnot. So I saw that way before. And then coming to when I was at the Cheesecake Factory, Miss Fee, she saw something in me and she pushed me to get my own business. And that's where Fourth Dimension Catering started. So I had my own catering company a couple years back, and we was doing pretty good. And I partnered with Just Pick Juices. It's a local juice bar in Norfolk. I partnered with them. I had some of my products in there. And when COVID happened, it kind of shut things down, you know, for local businesses or whatnot. I mean, I still did like meals and whatnot, but it just wasn't like it was. So I ended up uh, dealing with another group of like-minded individuals, and we met on Zoom and whatnot. And I ended up bumping into a guy who day traded. Well, I thought I was talking to this guy in DM because I made a post and he messaged me. So I ended up getting scammed and losing money because he was day trading for me. So after I lost so much money, I wanted to learn this skill so I can get my money back. So I ended up reaching out to Dre somehow. My cousin knew Dre, and I asked her. I was like, "Do you know somebody who know anything about?" I know Forex was going around. So I ended up talking to Shireen, Dre, your wife, and she ended up connecting. And ever since then, it's been about 5 years now. So good news is I did end up getting my money back with the skill, and we working on getting more. But yeah, it's been about 5 years, and I'm still working now. But I know that the goal could be me getting off the job. Because somebody asked me before, they was like, "Well, what do you want to do?" And it might sound funny, and I tell her I don't want to do nothing because I think I work for 2 lifetimes. My mom used to say I work like a Hebrew slave because I've been working since I was 16. And I've been managing since I was 16, certain positions. And 1 year I even had 3 jobs. You know, I had a daughter, dealing with child support and making sure that she had what she needed. I had 3 jobs 1 year. 3 jobs.
That sounds familiar.
Right. So I'm done working. Like, and I enjoy cooking. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy cooking, but I want to cook for myself. I no longer want to cook for everybody else. It's demanding on the body. It's demanding on the mind, and the skill that we're learning now. It's freeing. And I just want to travel. I want to travel. I want to enjoy my family, and I want to enjoy my time. Because right now, somebody has my time. I'm locked into a contract every week. I have to work this amount for this amount. Learning this skill is going to get me out of that contract and free me. So it's been 5 years strong. 6 years, Dre? Now?
6 years now. 2020. Okay.
So
yeah. Well, no, 5.
5?
Yeah, 2020 we started locking and loaded.
5 years strong, and we're gonna keep pushing.
So how long has it been for you? No, I mean, Estee?
Man, my story is definitely very unique. I would definitely say about like 2012. Well, before that, I think the main thing is I always wanted to be successful. And I was going through the phase trying to figure myself out. Like, I want to be successful. I'm trying to find a way to experience some level of freedom. So, at first I'm thinking like, okay, working a job, thinking like, okay, everybody know, for years back, I used to work for Chanelos. Believe it, by the way.
Aha.
Look,
Chanelos.
look,
Late night,
I used to work for Chanelos for
late night spot.
years.
Late night
Yes,
watch.
late night money, the place for the people with the munchies. Yes. So, as I Chanelos, I'm like working years, but then, I had the owner. I said, you know what? I think, I like, what? Maybe I want to own a Chanelos franchise a little bit because, because me, I was looking at the numbers, on the computer and say, you know what? I like, good gracious, the store at Ghent in Norfolk. And I'm looking like, hey, this is a busy store. I'm looking at the numbers like, man, I want a piece of that. And so I guess that avenue didn't go. So then before when I left for that, but here was the icebreaker, as far as on the entrepreneurship was don't quote me, I think it was 2012, 13. When I was somewhere around that time, I was introduced to Organo Gold. Many people know what Organo Gold was. It was a multi-level marketing company that that sold coffee. And I think I pay respect. I thank for Dr. Mark Williams, and he introduced me. Yeah, actually, I put it this way: when I connected to the guy, Dr. Mark Williams. He embraced me. And he embraced me into the entrepreneur mindset with Organo Gold. And I said, you know what? And then I see that the money that the revenue that could be made, and I said, you know what? That was the spark on that. So now continuing 2013, 2014, and then I start to get educated and learn how money works, and how people become very lucrative as far as wealth. And then I learned from that, and then got into a couple other multi-level marketing companies, get educated. I'm building the concepts, things of that nature. So, and then I was introduced to insurance, and like sure, definitely great money, great compensation, things like that. Boy, but when I was introduced to trading,
Yeah.
When I say trading, I always like to say, yeah. So I was introduced to trading 2019. And when I started to see the compound charts, when I started to see, and when I got into the trading space, and that right there was how could I say, the straw that broke the camel back. And now I was into the trading. Then when I connected with you, and then now I'm here right now. I'm pumped and I'm excited, and there's no limit to the sky from here, man. And
I like that.
I mean, I can't even really put it in words. And and now I'm on Talk to Me podcast, and we having this bondage and mature conversation about our financial freedom till today.
That's good, man. That's good. Good journey right there, right? Getting into just working at Chanelo's, working at a restaurant, and just really seeing the layout of what's in front of you. Look at all these customers coming in, man. I want a piece of that. How can I get there? Now that may not have been the vehicle. I like that part. But here's these other vehicles start coming down the pipeline, right? And I believe network marketing, quite honestly, is the best business in the world. I didn't say it's perfect, but I believe it's the best business in the world. Now, I didn't say that every platform does it right, but I said overall it's the best business in the world because there's no place in the world where you could start a business for a low startup fee and gain all of
Man,
this
mhm.
knowledge, right?
And you know what? And the
Turn
job,
it
and the
into
job you
mud.
work at, and the job you work at, they use network marketing.
Every business has a marketing aspect of it.
Right.
Again, you have to network with people and market your business. That's it. That's your business right there. Because if you don't do those things, you don't make any money. If you don't, and let's remove the business. If you don't network and market your significant other, then guess what? You'll get no attraction. You'll get no play. Right? If you and I'm talking about you got to woo your woman, right? We're all men here, right? You got to woo your woman. Steve or Jody, right? What do you do as somebody I'm gonna turn this question to not turn this particular question, but I'm looking at Dr. Elsie, and I'm saying even in I believe that religion is a faith. Religion is a faith. Having in religion or dealing with the church, right? And dealing with people, you have to network yourself a certain kind of way and market yourself a certain kind of way. And I know people don't really like talking about that part. It gets sticky sometimes, but in reality, if the pastor if he ain't bringing it, they ain't coming. If the environment and the space isn't right, they ain't staying. They'll go find some other place to go get what they need to get an understanding. If they're not teaching correctly, then guess what? They're leaving. So the aspects and bones of network marketing is in the fabric and bone of everywhere: politics, military, religion, faith, the relationships that the man and the woman have with one another, or the fellas have with one another. We do it all the time, and we qualify people. We pre-qualify them and qualify them as we go along. I pre-qualified my wife before I said, she's the one, and before I qualified her, right? It was some network marketing. She did the same with me. We might have not put that title on it, but in a nutshell, that's what it is. But as far as the journey that you've been on, Dr. Elsie, how long has it taken you to get to where you are right now? And I know you're a man, you're a seasoned man, so your journey. We would love to hear that because quite honestly, if your story or your journey isn't shared, then we can't learn. The baton can't be passed. So, I'm just asking you, can you share a little bit of your sauce? How long has it taken you to get here?
Yeah, I very appreciate that question. And insight you've given on, how do we get here? Uh, I don't mind sharing this. I'm 73 years old,
Amen.
and I really didn't when I was younger. I really didn't have a lot of focus. I knew that there was more to life than just going to the job and put in 8 hours. But then when I started pastoring and preaching and pastoring and so forth, I'm like I'm like Chef. That was I started having kids like Nolan and my other son. I was working two jobs in college, and I don't know how I did it. And I had instructors that how do you work job, pastor church, and here you are at your school. It's about it's about I go back to what I said earlier. It's about what you have in your heart. If you want something in life, you got to give something, and
Mm,
you have to push yourself. I mean, sometimes it calls for pushing yourself to the limit. Even when you have, even with the when you have children, right? I mean, you're their model, and the people around you, they become your model. And then if you're not careful, you'll get lost in yourself trying to be models to everybody else. So what I'm getting at is this: at some point, you know, if you want to move forward and become successful, it's one thing. It's the difference between being successful and faithful. I want to become successful. I don't have what I should have had some years ago. I should have already been where I'm a billionaire now. I should already be a millionaire now. But I wasn't. But I tried to model what it meant, a lot of different things. What it meant to be a man to my sons.
Mm.
I had all of that to contend with.
Mm.
I tried to model for them what it meant to get up and go out and be about your business. Every day. Trying to keep a good self and and a good image of yourself when you go out. People say, "Oh, there go Nolan," but it didn't make me any money.
Mm.
It didn't make me any money. Make me a good name, and of course, we know the Bible said, a good name is more precious than silver and gold. Got to have a good name, but it didn't make me any money. So let me just make a long story short. You know, I'm proud of my boys, my men, should I say? Uh, I think I was a good model for them. Sometimes it was fearful trying to be that model. Did I make a mistake here? Yeah, I made a lot of mistakes,
Yeah.
but because I made the mistake, some of them they saw, some of them they didn't see. But and I'm glad they didn't. But through it all, and now here I am. Nolan has been in the military. He's out, and just here, I was with another group. And let me say this. I'm just being transparent. I was with another group for almost a year. I lost a lot more money than I made because for the simple reason weren't doing what we're doing. I was really afraid to get on this. It took me a long time,
Mhm.
Dre, Chef, and they say it took me a while, to say, yeah, I'm gonna get back because of the money I lost. Because nobody taught me like you guys are teaching me, and let me listen in and let me inside the house so I can really see what's going on, rather than trying to peek through the window. You get what I'm saying?
Get that.
Right.
And
Mhm.
so you all have really opened up a window that has squashed a lot of my fears. I mean, a lot of my fears. Not, you don't have to be afraid to make money. You don't have to be afraid, to have money. You don't have to be afraid, to, go splurge a little bit on your wife if you want to, because when you could get on and trading, I have a long way to go. I've only been in it really for 3 months because you all are teaching me through Acacia and through, what is it? The learning program, Rich University, and you guys here, I'm learning a lot. And so now when I get on, it has even taught me a lot more about discipline.
Come on now.
We don't get very far without discipline. I used to just hit the button, and man, boom, it's gone.
Yeah.
Now now you guys have taught me, listen, just wait and learn through Academy. Wait and listen to the instructors. Just listen. Listen to those guys who know how to really do this thing and just do what they do. What am I getting at? What I'm getting at is this. No matter what we've learned in the past, if
Mhm.
we haven't gotten there in the past, when we come into a space like this, we have to learn how to relearn all over again. If you get what I'm saying. Sometimes we have to unlearn what
Yes.
we knew in order to learn something new. And so I'm learning this, and I'm learning this, and it's become a game changer. I'm amazed. I have to do those little bitty. I have to do little small numbers when I'm going to trade out. But I'm gonna get there. I will go. I do little small. But you know what? When I can sit down and say I'm in this trade, and I say, wow, I sat here, you know, uh, 3 minutes. Good gracious life. I made $30. Thank you, Jesus. I get up, I'm gone. But nobody taught me on the other side over there. But no, 1 or 2 minutes, made $30. You get up out of your seat and you're going on by your business. As they was talking about, he was talking about compounding. I've been knowing what about compounding a long time. I
Right.
mean, a long time, but I never understood what you're talking about when you're talking about compounding. It means, you take this and then you make something else out of that tomorrow. Compounding. Make, double this the next time, triple this the next time. You're going to lose a little along the way, but you know what? You get it all back. And this
That's
is
right.
one of the things I love about, bread talkers. We get on here as men, we just lay this thing out and we just talk about what we talk about. And that's what I'm learning. That's what I'm loving about this journey. Even in my preaching voice now, I'm preaching voice now. So y'all have to look over that. All right.
Come on now. Come on now. Come on with us.
Even there,
Preach
if I do something wrong, this is my first podcast with y'all. I'm not afraid that if I do something wrong and say something wrong, I just listen. I just act like I didn't say nothing wrong. I go on and do it and move on. But
That's
I'm
right.
done, and
I
and
love it.
I'm going to be there. I'm going to get there. I don't know where you all are in the space, but wherever you are, if you they are already a lot farther than I know in front of me. I'm right behind you. I'm on your heel because Nolan watched me. Now I'm watching you young guys. So don't tell them that, listen, this old guy, he's not about, be pushed to the side. I'm going to stick with you like glue,
That's right.
super glue. Every time you turn around, I've stuck to you somewhere. All right, I'm done.
I like that. Now that, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, is that you can't do nothing but be inspired when you hear that. You can't do nothing but be inspired by that, right? There is no quit here. I think you stand out because that makes you so much more unique, Dr. Elsie. I think that makes you so much more unique. And I hope and pray that there's more people that are watching this and seeing and saying to themselves, man, that man, he's 70, what? 73, and he's still taking the time to run around with them youngsters and learn that skill set over there. Listen, I need to find out myself. Now, I just encourage you, anybody that's listening today, don't be afraid of the cycles that you got to go through in life, whatever it takes you. Don't close the doors on these opportunities. I know I'm every time I speak, especially on a platform, I always say, don't miss opportunities you qualified for. And sometimes it may sound a bit cliche, but it's the truth. I think we close too many doors. And right now, in the season that we're in right now, we can't afford to close any more doors, especially when they're the opposite, are looking to close the doors already for us. They're already pulling the books out of the schools. They're closing down museums. They're changing the narrative and rewriting history, right? We got to be conscientious of where we're at right now and stop looking at one another and taking from the people that in our immediate communities. Instead, we should be lifting each other up. We should be sharing this information. We're pushing the narrative so that you can grasp and gain. And we want to welcome you in on these opportunities to learn how to build, learn how to bridge, learn how to empower more. This isn't just about us. We want to talk to the entire community. We want to talk to the entire world, but we're going to do it one person at a time. And slowly but surely, we're pulling the people that are looking for us. We're going to pull them in. We're pre-qualifying people so that we can qualify them later on down the line. And don't worry about what you don't know, or if you don't have enough money to get started. The thing is, get started. The thing is, lock in on the information that you need to lock in on. That's one of the biggest lessons to learn in life. When it's placed in front of you, when the food is placed in front of you, do you eat? Now, you got to be conscientious of the meals that you do eat, because there's some things on that plate that may not be right for you. But what I do notice about what I admire about wealthy and rich people, they make a decision when it comes time for them to make a decision, they make it fast. They make it fast. They don't hesitate. A lot of the greatest decisions that I've ever made in life, I made it fast. When it came for me going to the military, y'all, I made it fast. I didn't sit and tell everybody else, well, you think you think I should do this? I didn't broadcast it to everybody what I was going to do. When it was time for me to get ready to leave, I had about 3 days left. And I told the guys, hey, look, I'm getting ready to go. They threw a party for me. When I got married, and this is stupid, when I got married, or when me and my wife decided to get married, he said, hey, let's get married. Within a week or two, we got it done. We didn't sit and wait for the big wedding. You know, we went and got married. You know, our families came together and we all made it happen in 7 to 14 days. And me and my wife, we had been together at that time. We probably been together maybe a year and a half, maybe a year and a gap. 99. We got married in 2001. It's 24 years later, almost 25. Right? So some of the greatest decisions I ever made in life, you know, it came from just making the decision and just doing it, executing, and I'll figure out everything else out along the way. So I'm encouraging everybody here that's listening, make a decision. Don't be so wrapped up in what you don't know. Just execute. Talk to the right people. Everything else will sort itself out along the way. If the environment feels good, if all the things are making the proper checks and balances, then go for it. Go for it. You may be unlocking your true potential, your true destiny. And don't be afraid. Just don't be afraid. Just don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. That's the biggest lessons for me. So with that being said, you know, I know we're a little bit over in time, but you know, in closing, man, what's one key thing for each and every one of you? What's a key thing that stood out for you for this particular for this conversation, and how can people find you?
You know, one particular thing that stood out for me, you know, is the camaraderie, you know, that goes on. I'm very quickly,
Mm-hmm.
and I love the camaraderie. And I've already friended several of you on my Facebook page at Nolan
I
at
saw
Nolan.
that.
There's a Facebook. If you want to reach me, just hit me up at Facebook. You know, hey, yeah, hey, give me a shout out. When you talking to some of the best guys that I know, and my wife, let me say this, she of 53 years now. My
Amen.
wife, she's all on board with me. You know, she helps me with, you know, what needs to happen on the 18th of every month. 53 years, she likes what's going on. And so I just want to say, you know, if you're serious about a lot about life, then you have to be serious about what you're doing. Nobody becomes, successful, you know, at anything until they have, you know, put everything that they have into it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it that's and it takes all that you have and just believing that you can do it. I'm gonna stop there.
Dr. Nolan Elzy, y'all.
All right, but let me the chip off the old block. Let me extend that.
That's right.
You can find me at Nolan LZ. There's two of us, so you can either hit myself up or my dad at Nolan LZ at Facebook, or you can hit me at NoLens357 at Instagram. And one key thing that I got away from this, like I said, my dad, my camaraderie, and the people that I'm surrounded by. Uh, and I like, I like to have these type of conversations where they're meaningful. I can actually go to sleep tonight and wake up with good thoughts and nothing that's negative. We got 4 or 5 brothers and 2, 3 different generations, and we were talking about positive changes, in our personal lives
Wow.
and around us, man. That's deep, man. That's really deep, and people are watching us.
Yeah.
Unknowingly, people are actually watching us. They watch how we move. They
Yeah.
watch what we put on our social media, even if we don't post anything at all. And when we do post, it's like, okay, what's going on over here? What's going on over there? We're interested now. So it's a good thing that we're doing, man. So
Wow.
yes, sir.
That's good.
And Dre, she lets me sing, our favorite song. We met for 3 months, got married, went to work the same day, and
Come
I
on now.
started singing that song, "My Girl." Talk about my girl. I still sing it the other day.
My girl.
You know.
He can deal with it and I can't.
Ah, the classics, baby. That's right. Man.
Well, yep. So, what's going on, family? One thing I could definitely, one thing, anybody wanted to find me, you can find me on Facebook at, Estee Dyron Campbell, at Facebook. And also, in addition, you can also find me on Instagram. I am Dyron Campbell at Instagram. And one of the I got a couple of takes on this. If you have a dream and you got one life to live, you got one opportunity,
Right.
and what's in between you and accomplishing your dream is the wall of fear. Regardless of who you are, everybody gonna run into the wall of fear. And the way to look at fear is false evidence appearing real.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it's all about what you're gonna do with the fear. If you're gonna look at the fear, you're gonna walk away from the fear, or you're gonna, ball your fists up and punch through the fear.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So basically, all I'm saying on that is don't let fear stop you. Means I can't get more words out tonight. It's pretty late. Stop you from getting to where you want to get in life.
Absolutely.
And then another thing is, there's opportunity for everybody. No one isn't really in competition with anyone. Run your own race.
That's right.
Just run your own race.
Yeah.
We all got things to overcome every day, in life.
It's good.
So that's definitely, my take on that. And the reason I'm saying it is you have so many individuals that's looking for people like us, that's looking for that level of influence and, look up to somebody that, they can look up to prosper, in life. Because of me having that in my conscious mind, it's an engine for me to continue, chasing my dreams and goals, because maybe somebody on a lower tier looking for that. So so I have to at least spread that out, So and then, us having this conversation, our brothers here, man, it's amazing and intriguing, how much we just learned from each other in this hour and 18 minutes. I mean, what we learned from each other is completely priceless, man. And just having this conversation, that I'm definitely going to sleep very well tonight. Knowing that I'm over here with a group of brothers speaking positivity and talking about things that people are watching that could change everybody's life. And also, at least not well, things don't happen overnight. Okay.
That's right.
But, Well, also on a 15 advisable growth, they say nothing can change overnight, but you can change direction overnight.
Absolutely. That's a good take there, I say. That's a good take right there.
Absolutely.
My brethren, fourth the great.
The bet. My biggest take, honestly, is if you can do it, I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ever be afraid to start over. I've done it. I've done it. And I know we as service, in the service industry or restaurants, we are considered weekend warriors. Why? Because the weekend is when everybody's out and that's when we're needed.
Yeah.
So we in there popping on the weekend. But if you're a chef or whatever position that you have, don't short yourself, because just because you cook at that restaurant, you can have aspirations to own that restaurant. Not only do I want to own that restaurant, I want the land that the restaurant is sitting on and the block that the land is on. So it's possible. Don't ever short yourself. If you can do it, I can do it. Said by, that was his wise words by a wise man. And it's going to sit here for a long time. And every time that I feel like dimming, because I don't give up, the light might dim down a little bit. It might slow down. But he said he going to be right at your side like glue. We are shadow boxing with success. So
shadow boxing with success. I like
shadow boxing with success.
I like that.
Come on, let's get it.
So, for all my weekend warriors, or even if you're not a weekend warrior, if you want to reach me, it's Fourth the Great on all platforms.
That's
TikTok,
right.
fan base, YouTube, Instagram, Damian Thompson on Facebook, DAMMION Thompson on Facebook. Click the links in my bio. You can connect with me, get in contact with me, and like, subscribe, share. If there's anything that you like, just let me know. Anything that get at us. So you can shadow box with success too.
I like that.
Because we gonna get it. Because if you can do it, we can do it.
I like that. I love it. I feel like right now, at this point right now, man, I'm going to end with this, man. I feel like I know you guys a whole lot better. Not that I didn't already, but I love the fact that we got to be on here together and we were very intentional and specific. And I look for, we're going to be doing more of these. So I'm going to be tapping you guys in the shoulder. Hey, look, be ready. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, it gets better. It can't do nothing but get better because we're going to keep doing more and more and more and more. And I hope that helps you guys get to know who we are a bit. So with that being closing, ladies and gentlemen, lessons I wish I learned. Be sure to like, share, comment. Make sure that you smash that subscribe button and make sure you got your alarm on so that you can stay in tune with the next and latest, greatest opportunities or calls that we're going to be having here. Bread Talk channel, Bread Talk Investors channel. And this has been an episode of Talk to Me, ladies and gentlemen, where we talk about faith, relationships, education, and elevation. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your day. Talk to me.
Talk to me.
Talk to me.
Let's go.
Let's go.